Michelle from A Noble Touch, and today we're going to do a fall wreath. I just had an idea come to me, so I wanted to try it out. What we're going to use is some burgundy mesh, brown mesh. This is a faux jute check mesh, which is yellow. Now if you can't find the check mesh, you can just use yellow. This is a green gold mesh, and this is a blue denim mesh with jute running through it. These four here I got from craftoutlet.com, and here I got from Pack-A-Tans. You might be able to find it for anybody that carries DeReese brand mesh. It's Expressions mesh. That's a 21-inch. Craft Outlet might have a denim mesh if you can't find it with the jute, but those are the colors I'm using. Also here we have our ribbon. These three here I got from Dollar General. This one here is a gold I got from Walmart, and then I can't even remember where I got this one, but that's just a gold ribbon. You can just use a smaller 1-inch ribbon. And this here is a coppery or orange metallic ribbon. I believe I got that one from Walmart as well. And then of course you need your fuzzy sticks, some wire, a 12-inch wreath frame, DeReese canvas plastic canvas. It's like a grid. You find it in the cross stitch section. Walmart sells a 6-pack for $2.97. Then right here I got this cute truck sign with the little fall sign on it. I got that from Dollar General for $4. Also, we might be trying some gourds on here, so I just got 2 packs of these for $3 a piece at Dollar General. And then of course we're going to have some raffia as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Also, you're going to want to use, have your glue gun, either your rotary cutter or a wood burner to cut your mesh. It's your preference. So let's get started. Okay, so here we have our 12-inch wreath frame. I get these from Dollar General. They're $1.75. They used to be $1.50, but they went up. And then we have our DeReese Canvas Designer Plastic Canvas. This is the 10.5 by 13.5 inch. Like I said, you get a 6-pack at Walmart for $2.97. So what we're going to do is set our frame on the grid. And then take a marker and you're just going to trace around the second rung from the inside. So 1, 2, so that rung right there. And then take your scissors and go ahead and cut the canvas out, your circle. Oops, sorry about that. Meant to turn my phone off. And then place it on, so not the top, but the back here of your frame. And just take 4 zip ties and zip tie your grid to the frame. And this is because I like my wreaths full, so we're going to fill in using the grid. And then I guess just do all 4 sides around that second rung. If I get that zip tie. Just tighten them down. and then just cut your zip tie off like that. Okay, so that's our frame and base that we're going to use for this wreath. Now we're going to cut the mesh. Okay, so this is the cute truck sign I got from Dollar General. Again, it was $4, but I thought this was so cute, and I love the blue into it. I was lucky enough to have this denim with the jute, so I wanted to bring some blue into it, but I didn't want it like the turquoise or be too bright of a blue. So this denim blue mesh works well, I think. And then, of course, I wanted to bring in the yellow from the corn. So I thought this yellow check mesh I had would be really cute to try. Again, if you can't get the check mesh, you could just use the yellow. And then I just have a plain brown mesh, just because the brown in the sign here. And then this is a green gold. This is a two-tone green gold mesh from Craft Outlet. And then, of course, I'm throwing some burgundy in just to pop the letters of the fall out. So what we're going to do is cut our mesh every 10 inches. So I'm going to put this down over here. I'm just throwing stuff around here in my room. And then take my mesh holder. I love this mesh holder. I got it from Pizzazzy mesh holder. I believe they sell on Etsy. I'll have to put the link up for you. And then what I do is I typically still use my phone to weigh it down, but I measure out my mesh, and I start at the 30-inch line. Now, if I'm using a wood burner, so if you use a wood burner, you're going to want to make sure you have a tempered piece of glass on top of your cutting mat so you don't melt your mat. This is an old refrigerator shelf that a friend got for me. And if you cannot find an old refrigerator shelf or something like that, you can always get a glass cutting board. You can flip a cookie sheet upside down and then mark out your lines where you want to cut, measure them and mark it out. You can use that just so long as you don't melt, of course, your mat, and you don't burn your tables or anything like that. So now when you use a wood burner, well, you got to make sure it's on. So of course mine is not on, so now I've got to wait for it to heat up. But you also, it does create a fume or a smoke when you cut the mesh, so you might want to wear a mask, like a ventilated mask, to protect you from the smoke from cutting the mesh. Okay, so my burner is hot enough now. So what on the new rolls, they're kind of jagged, so what I'd like to do is just cut going about an inch or inch and a half, and just cut down that line to make a smooth line like that on your cut, and then pull it up. And then of course you're going to cut your here, let me just get some weight down. I usually use a few things to hold my mesh down because I cut at the 30-inch line. The 20-inch line, and just follow that grid line, because your squares will be straight, even if it looks like it might curve and all that good stuff. Just curve with it and cut, and your squares will be perfect. So what we're going to need, I just wrote this down, so let me see here. We're going to need 12 burgundy cuts, 10-inch, and then we're going to need 27 yellow cuts, 15 green, 15 brown, and 12 blue for a total of 81 cuts of mesh. So I'm going to start cutting mesh. When I get to the 21 inch, I will stop and record that so you can see how to cut the 21 inch mesh. And we'll be back. Okay, so when we cut the 21 inch mesh, you're going to bring it all the way out to the end of your mat. And then you're going to, of course, turn your tempered glass so it is long ways. And then you're just going to go down and start cutting on a 10-inch line. And as you cut, just separate with your fingers above. That way it doesn't adhere itself back to itself. Okay, so I'm going to push that out of the way. So right here, so now we have a 21 inch by 10 inch cut. So what I do is pull it over, line it up. Let me make sure you can see this. Right there. Line it up to the bottom of your, where your mat is, so for your measurement. And then of course, so 21 divided in half is 10.5 inches. So on my mat, that's going to be like the 14.5 mark coming this way. So I find the middle between the 13 and 14 mark. And then I just cut across and separate it as you go. And there's your 2 cuts. So again, we're going to need 12 cuts of blue. So here's 2. But see how nice that looks when you cut it with the wood burner and it melts the mesh. So you don't get the fraying. You will get some fraying, especially with the 21 inch mesh when you work with it, but it's not going to be as much as if you were to use a rotary cutter. So you take this 26 gauge wire and you just kind of hook it at the end here and just hook it around one of the pieces of the pine cone, and then just kind of weave it in and out underneath, and then you can wrap it, kind of pull it tight. Again, just weave it in between these, and then just bring it out at the bottom like that. And then that's how your pine cone is attached with the wire. Now I think my glue gun is heated up enough, and we're just going to hit that hole. I say it's heated up enough, but we'll see. So you just want to get some glue on there, and then take your fuzzy stick and push through, and then let that set up. So again, we're going to take this one, just hit the hole there, and push it into the pumpkin, and we're going to let these set up like that. Just push the top off. And just let that sit up. And then I'm going to, of course, get into this other bag too, because I think I want at least six gourds for my placements, and then some of the pine cones I'll place in bundles. So I'm just going to do that, and we will be back to do our ruffles. Okay, so now we're getting to the mesh. So we're going to take our fuzzy sticks, cut them in half. You can use any fall colors you'd like. I'm just using a light brown. Now I'm just going to show you right now the yellow, burgundy, and brown ruffle that we're going to do. So, because this is where I'm going to add the gourds into these ruffles. So the yellow, burgundy, and brown. You take one of each mesh. Excuse me, I've got a mess over here. I'm trying to... So you have one of each. So I want my, I think, yellow for the top. So what we're going to do is lay your piece out, and this is the ruffle method. So you're going to pinch and gather, pinch and gather, pinch and gather, like that. So you have a ruffle like this. And then I'm going to do burgundy next. So again, you hold on to this one, and sorry, I've got stuff all over the place. Pinch and gather, pinch and gather, pinch and gather, pinch and gather. And I say you kiss them together. So these are the tops. You're going to kiss the bottoms together like this. And then you have your brown. And of course, just pinch and gather. And put that on top of the red. And then what I'm going to do is take some raffia. And these are cut about 16 inches long. Just a couple pieces in here, just to give it a cute little fall look. And just pinch it in, hold it here. And then you can take one of your gourds and lay it here. If you want, you can just wrap it. Wrap it around the bundle. Or you can just lay it on. Because you're going to cut that excess off. And then you're going to, I've got raffia everywhere. Then you're going to take your fuzzy stick, bring it down around the bundle, flip it over, and then you can push it up like this, hold tight, and then twist like that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off the excess. We don't need that much on the gourds. And that's going to be one of your bundles that you're going to do. Now this one, we're going to place it on, hold on, let me grab my frame. The ones with the gourds are going to go on the center of each bracketed section. So that's where you're going to place the ruffle with the gourds in. Okay? So you can just go ahead and attach that. It's going to go this way on the frame. Like this. So that's the yellow, burgundy, and brown that we're going to use for the center section. The next fold we're going to do, I'm just going to put this under here, is we're going to have a green, yellow, and blue. So then you're going to take your green, and you're going to pinch and fold. And then your yellow. So your yellow's in the middle this time. And then your blue. And you pinch and fold. So the blue's on top. Now you can add some raffia into these folds as well, if you'd like. And just a couple pieces is fine. You can even, if you like the loop it a little bit, you can do that as well. So it's not sticking so far out. And then take your pipe cleaner. And pull tight, pull up, and twist like that. So we have that look right there. So then this is going to go on the outer rung of the bracketed section. Like that. And then I just kind of push up and twist the two together. Now, the next one is going to go on the third bracketed section. I don't know if you've seen that here. So the next one's going to go on the third bracketed section, so the one closest to the center. So it's going to come up under here and go right there. And that one is going to be blue, brown, and yellow. Of course, you just pinch and fold like that. And you don't have to do the triple ruffle. I like the triple ruffle. I think it gives it a fuller look. It's just so pretty. So we're going to put that on top like this. And again, if you want to add, I think we're going to just make this all fall. So we're going to add some more. And if you'd just like to kind of do a piece like that. Put your pipe cleaner on. Pull tight. And twist. And be careful, I have sent these ruffles flying before, so I'm just going to cut the excess off. So let me grab my frame. So underneath here, we're going to attach to that, push it through the grid, but let me just get this situated here. And you pull tight, sorry, here, I pull tight through the grid, twist it, and then of course attach to the other ones above, like this. So we have that. We're going to push this out. And now we're going to go to the section in between the two bracket sections. We're going to go to the third rung in and do another ruffle. But we're facing it, we're going to place it this way instead of this way. So the ruffle's going to go, I guess is a vertical, vertical in there instead of horizontal. So we're going to place that in here, in the center. So it's going to attach through the bar and into the grid. So actually I'm going to do yellow, green, and burgundy with this one. So pinch and fold. And this one we really don't have to add the raffia. I think we'll have enough going on so we don't have to add. And these pieces here. Pull up and then twist like that. And then we're going to push this up, go to the center in between the two brackets, and let's see, go through the grid because the grid will stabilize it a little better from moving around. Like that. So we're just going to keep going around until we're done, and then we're going to attach the sign in the bow. So we'll be back when we're finished with that. Okay, so for the last 3 ruffles that are going to go right in the center, we're going to do the yellow, green, and brown. And this we're not going to add any embellishments in because you're not going to see them. So if you've been doing this along with me, you'll realize how full your wreath is already. Okay, so we have our wreath, which looks beautiful just how it is. You wouldn't even have to add the sign if you didn't want to. Now, if you wanted to just do the outer, you don't have to attach the grid to the inside, and you'll have a beautiful wreath. However, there is some opening here, so we're just going to attach 3 of the plain ruffles, and we're just going to attach them in the center. Just to fill up that space. Gotta move the mesh side. Now, I don't know if our bow is too big for this wreath. I should have probably did a smaller one. So I'm not sure if we're going to attach it. Ah, my shirt got caught. Okay. So here it's very full looking, and you can even finish it right there if you didn't want to add the sign. We are going to go ahead and add the sign. Now when you attach the sign, you want to make sure you line it up so it's straight with the back of the wreath where you have the opening so you can hang the wreath right on its frame if you wanted to. So again, you want to make sure that's lined up with one of these sections. And let's see here. Actually, I think I wanted to do the green board at the top. So I went ahead and there was a metal hanger there. I took that off. What I'm going to do is position this. I don't know if you can see that. Grab my wire. What I'm going to do here is cut a piece of wire. It's about 17 inches long. And I'm just going to loop it through the hole here. And just twist the wire. And this is a heavier gauge wire. This is an 18 gauge. So it's a little bit heavier and thicker. But I'm just going to wrap it around like this because I'm going to attach it through and pull it through. It's okay if there's a little metal showing. It's not a big deal. That's going to be there. And you can just push that mesh so you can get through to the grid. And pull down. And pull down. So what we're going to do is then take the wire, just tightly twist it. We have our cute truck there. And then if we want to add the bow, which I don't know if it's going to be too much. I think it might be a little too much. But we can add it over to the side or up a little. I haven't decided. I'll take a picture when it's all said and done, what I decided to do. So, but yeah. So thank you for joining me. If you like this teaching, I do have other videos here on YouTube as well as on my Etsy shop. And also join us at Wreath Creators and More. It's a Facebook group. It is run by me and Julie. Julie from Julie's Wreath Boutique. We have a lot of fun in there. We have a lot of creative, talented members in our group. So if you haven't joined and you wish to, please just answer the questions to get into the group, and we'll accept you. And I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for joining me. Also, please make sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you can be updated when I put out a new tutorial on YouTube. So thanks for joining me. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do a bow using the Pro Bow, the hand. The other bow I made a larger bow. It's too big for my wreath. I don't like the look of it. So I'm going to try a little bit smaller. I'm going to use 5 different types of ribbon. I have this cute plaid one and the one with the fall leaves. and then this blue, like a blue burlap, and then those three I got from Dollar General. Then I have this gold one, this thinner inch gold, and then I have, which I can't even remember where I got that from. That might have been from Sam's or something like that. And then this one here is just a cute little fall plaid. I got that from Joann's. It was on clearance, so I'm going to try to do something similar to a terry bow, but it's not going to be a terry bow because I'm not using 6 ribbon. I'm only using 5. And it's going to be smaller. Usually, if you're familiar with the Pro Bow, this would be, you'd make it on the D section. I'm going to do a little bit smaller scale bow, so I'm going to do it on the B, and we'll see how this turns out. So I'm going to measure my tail out to the D on here, and you put it here. You take 26 gauge wire, and I cut it the length of the Pro Bow, and what you're going to do is you take it and then one and wrap it 2 like that. Here you want to hold it tight against this dowel, wrap it around, and you want to put it in the center here and wrap it up like this so you can quickly release it. And then down here there's a little nail, so we're just going to wrap it once, and then I'm actually going to tuck the wire underneath so it's out of my way like that. So let me grab my scissors over here. So then what you do is you take your ribbon and you bring it around the first dowel. Hold that tight there, and then you're going to flip this up like this. So you're going to turn your ribbon and bring it around this next dowel. Again, I am not an aficionado when it comes to these bows. I am learning like the rest of us. So then you take another piece of wire and you're going to slip it through here, and you want it on the right side of the dowel. And then let me see if I can do this without it. And then what you're going to do is twist it here, twist it tight to hold that ribbon. And then I'm going to bring it over here and cut it. This is a really good bow to do if you're doing, if you have just some scrap ribbon left. So then again, I'm going to take this one here, and you can move your tails out of the way like that. And you pinch. Let's see, put it up this way. And then you're going to bring it around this dowel here. And pinch. And then you're going to pinch and flip is what you do. So you have the pretty side of the ribbon's always facing out. And then you take your working wire and twist. Like that. Go ahead and cut this there. And then you're going to take your third ribbon. Here, let me just wind this up so it doesn't, actually I'm going to move it right out of my way. To the C. So you're going to pinch this. Make sure the pretty side's up. Which some of this ribbon you can't even you can't even tell which side's the pretty side because it looks the same on both. And then pinch and turn up. Again, if you want a better video, I would recommend watching Regina Sellers, the creator of the Pro Bow. And then take your working wire and twist. Get that out of the way. Now I don't have another spool row, so I'm just going to switch mine out, and then I'm going to go ahead and take this pretty plaid, measure it out, pinch it. So you want to make sure you flip it so the pretty side's up. Go around this dowel here. Pinch, twist, go around this dowel, and then tighten your working wire down. There, and then take your last ribbon, measure it out, and if you want to go ahead and just, you can always, you know, do that as you start it too, if you don't want to hold it. And then so you're going to pinch and fold up. Bring it back, pinch it and fold again. Tighten just like that. Okay, and then you take this wire up top here, just undo it, and then the one from the bottom, and I gotta see what's going on here. And then you're going to take the one from the bottom and the top, and you're going to pull it tight. I've got my, just twist it. So it's going to look like this, so it's all stacked. And then we're going to go ahead and attach it to the fluff box and fluff it up. We'll be right back. Okay, so here's our bow. And what we're going to do is you start from the bottom, and you're going to pull a loop this way. And then pull the other loop this way. So you want to leave the tails out, so you make like a, I guess it's an X or a T with it. So you go to the next one, pull out, so it's across, the loops are across from each other. Oh, and you know what, I wanted to chevron or fishtail the edges there, or the ends. So I will be doing that when I'm done. So here, pull this bow this way, So this bow this way, and this tail can go this way, and this blue tail can go this way. So this is just going to be a cute little version of small version of this bow. And then, like I said, I'm going to fluff this all out. I just wanted a smaller bow. And then I'll cut the ends. So if you want to make the fishtail look, you just fold like that. So you have that cute little decorative look here. Like that. And I think what I'm going to do, I have a little pumpkin. I might just somehow put the pumpkin in, attach it with the pipe cleaner in the middle, just to set it off. So that's what this is, and I'm going to go ahead and attach it to the wreath, and hopefully it won't be as overwhelming as my other one was.